Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever open the preseason tomorrow at noon against Washington, but number 22 could be on the bench. The 2024 Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark, is listed as questionable with a left leg injury. Of course, Sunday is Indiana.
Well, here's how you throw your fan base and WNBA fans at large into a collective panic. Caitlin Clark on the injury report, which is exactly what happened as the Indiana Fever put out the report, the status update for the first preseason game against the Washington Mystics.
Caitlin Clark's brief injury scare sent the WNBA world into a frenzy, with Fever fans reacting as if it were a major emergency when it was only a minor issue. Now the focus shifts to whether she'll play in the preseason and if Angel Reese is feeling the pressure. In just 2 weeks, Clark will either be making impressive passes or delivering stunning performances. The Chicago Sky should prepare for a challenging test when they face her.
Caitlin Clark has a lower leg injury, so she probably will not play in the first preseason game tomorrow. That's just breaking news. I don't think it's anything.
Sucks. And sometimes you didn't know, and you just scrolled onto Twitter, and there it is. And there it is. And you're like, wait, what? When did that happen? How did that happen? What? And that could ruin a day.
The internet has been in a frenzy, with fans anxiously awaiting updates from the Indiana Fever social media as if it were a crucial championship game. This intense anticipation is all due to a minor scare involving Caitlin Clark, the highly popular and talented player who drives significant viewership. A small injury and a vague announcement instantly made the Fever's preseason feel more emotionally charged than a dramatic reality TV show reunion.
Lads, Caitlin Clark is on an injury report. For the first time in her WNBA career, Caitlin Clark is listed on an injury report, lads. Oh my god. Oh my god, lads. She's listed on an injury report, and this is not the end of the world. This is not the end of the world. Not a great thing. Not an ideal thing. You never want to see someone listed on an injury report. That's never a good thing.
When the Indiana Fever released an update, it signaled to sports fans that something significant might be happening. Immediately, a wave of panic spread. Questions flew. Was she injured? How severely? Was it a minor issue like a hangnail or something catastrophic? Fever fans reacted with extreme distress, akin to a crowd learning a major performance was canceled last minute. Complete panic ensued, leading to meltdowns, wild speculation online, extensive discussions on social media and forums, and even conspiracy theories, all amplifying the sense of urgency and panic. If you're a fan and want to support her, type "Rookie" in the comments, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon for more Caitlin Clark updates. Don't miss out on the latest news about her rising star and impact.
And Caitlin Clark, the only player on it, listed as questionable with a left leg injury. Now, I've seen a lot of injury reports in my day, and I'll say this. Of course, you get a jump scare when you see Clark's name there, given what she means to the Fever and what she means to the league.
Whoa there, hold the candlelight vigil outside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Let's pump the brakes and take a collective deep breath. The Indiana Fever's being monitored statement in 2025 is incredibly open-ended. It could literally mean anything. Perhaps her Wi-Fi signals being tracked, crucial for athlete performance. Or maybe her Twitter mentions are under surveillance for spicy remarks. Ankle monitoring? Possible. But without a doubt, her godlike talent for humiliating defenders on the court is, under 24/7 observation, that power absolutely deserves its own security clearance.
Popped up, and I was like, what in the world? Caitlin Clark, questionable for tomorrow with the left leg injury.
Despite the uncertainty, the entire WNBA has been holding its breath in anticipation. Caitlin Clark's professional debut has felt like a long time coming, with fans, players, and analysts all eager to witness her electrifying skills on the court. Known for her deep shooting range, sharp court vision, and fearless attitude, Clark has already drawn comparisons to legends, and now it's finally time to see how her game translates to the pros. To many, she feels like basketball's next big phenomenon, and the excitement around her is nothing short of feverish.
Like, I was very, very worried that that we were going to see a a Caitlin Clark missing the game. Like, hope you're right. Kind of feels like an FU to the fans attending the game.
Witnessing her rookie season where she effortlessly drained logo threes, the thought of Caitlin Clark missing preseason, let alone the opener, is unfathomable. It's akin to denying Santa Claus, Netflix, and Wi-Fi simultaneously. Basketball blasphemy. Clark isn't merely a rising star, she's a meteor streaking across the WNBA firmament, and fans are following her trajectory with unwavering devotion. Her fan base has been on tenterhooks, pacing their living rooms like anxious expectant fathers, incessantly checking social media for any update. Even the slightest injury news sends tremors through online communities. This isn't just about basketball, it's become a form of collective therapy, a source of salvation, a national spectacle. And Caitlin Clark is undeniably the central figure in this unfolding drama.
Okay, listen, I've seen the tweet. I'm a little nervous, but I also know what I know about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. I think this questionable is a precaution. She played all through college with injuries, with migraines. She powered through. She got it done. Unless her leg is hanging off or like there's major problems, I don't think there's a world in which Caitlin Clark doesn't actually at least try to play a little.
When rumors of an injury surfaced, the WNBA online community erupted. Cries of "what do you mean she's day-to-day" filled social media, accompanied by a cascade of crying emojis. ESPN dissected her last game with the intensity of a conspiracy documentary. TikTok users became amateur investigators, scrutinizing every frame for signs of discomfort. A mere touch of her knee would trigger calls for national mourning. When the official injury update arrived, thankfully not severe, but casting doubt on her preseason availability, reactions were dramatic. Some fans created digital memorials with somber music, while others adopted analytical personas, crafting detailed injury timelines. The most significant indicator of Clark's impact, however, was the pervasive fear, the collective "what if" that now overshadowed the season.
Guys, Caitlin Clark is now listed as questionable for Indiana Fever's first preseason game tomorrow. It feels like injury reports or status updates are all that we're getting right now. There's a couple more players that have been added since the video I posted yesterday as well. Fortunately, Caitlin's just listed as questionable, so it doesn't sound too serious. Maybe if we all say a little prayer tonight, she'll be good to go by tomorrow, and hopefully she's actually good to go by Sunday.
A WNBA season starting without her brilliance is unthinkable, like Broadway without its lead, Coachella sans headliner, or Beyoncé concert devoid of Beyoncé. Possible, yes, but spiritually crushing. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she embodies the sport. Her presence ignites the court, elevating the game to an indescribable level of excitement. She's the catalyst, making every play electrifying, every shot magical, and every pass a masterpiece. Until she's officially cleared, the WNBA fan base will remain vigilant, refreshing feeds, reposting updates, and perhaps even praying. The collective hope is palpable, that the season will once again flourish under her unstoppable radiance. With Caitlin Clark, it's more than just basketball. It's witnessing something truly transcendent.
I'm self-aware that Caitlin Clark's leg is probably fine. However, I hate an injury report. Doesn't matter the team, doesn't matter the league, doesn't matter. Because sometimes you know your favorite player's hurt, and you know the injury report's coming, and you know their name's going to be on it, and it's still...
The true concern over this injury shouldn't fall on Caitlin, the fans, or even her medical team. The real panic is reserved for someone specific in Chicago, Angel Reese. Yes, the Bayou Barbie herself. Before her fans react, let's acknowledge the reality. The Chicago Sky's season opener is against the Indiana Fever. If Caitlin Clark's legs are even remotely healthy, Angel Reese faces the risk of becoming a viral highlight reel of defensive lapses. These two already have a history, a rivalry as intense as polished college athletes can manage before PR intervention. Their upcoming game is poised to be the WNBA's equivalent of a McGregor-Mayweather showdown. The key difference? One of them actually plays defense.
Yeah, right. It's not a definite she's out. All right, so nothing to panic about, but it did catch my eye. I was like, what in the world? I thought it was a prank. I thought this was a prank, man. I was like, nah, man, this is not real right now. This is not real. But apparently, yeah, man, it's real. This came from the real account. So
Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky face a daunting season opener against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. This isn't an easy start, but a high-stakes matchup against a superstar. If healthy, Clark will be at her best, aiming for long-range threes, dazzling dribbles, and a dominant performance against her rival. Clark is known for remembering past slights and using them as motivation. Any perceived disrespect from Reese, from looks to social media posts, will likely fuel Clark's intensity. She excels in revenge games, playing with a focused, almost petty determination. The prospect of a healthy Clark playing on opening day is described as a nightmare for the Sky. It's anticipated to be a one-sided affair, a massacre with significant media attention and sponsorships. The passage urges Chicago to prepare intensely, suggesting extreme measures to counter Clark's potential impact. If Clark is indeed healthy, she's expected to play aggressively, not just to win, but to assert her dominance in the WNBA. Her presence on the court is seen as a declaration of her arrival as the league's new face. Angel Reese is advised to seek luck and protection against Clark's anticipated onslaught.
What that means is they're going to see how you feel. Does it feel okay? Does it not feel okay? Do you want to go? Do you want to go? What's curious is this is one of these situations where if it's not a crazy injury, they leave it to the player. Do you want to go or do you want to? And the real thing is, do you want to risk it? Do you want to risk it for the preseason? Not really.
The passage contrasts Angel Reese's apparent confidence with the formidable challenge posed by Caitlin Clark. It portrays Reese as overly self-assured, perhaps still operating with a college mindset, where popularity holds significant weight. The author suggests this confidence is misplaced in the professional WNBA, where actual performance against top talent is paramount. Caitlin Clark is depicted as a player who excels under pressure and uses the first game to dominate, not ease in. The author implies that Reese's past success and social media presence won't translate to the same level of impact against Clark in the WNBA. The upcoming game is framed as a harsh reality check for Reese. Furthermore, the passage criticizes the Chicago Sky's off-season preparation, suggesting they've relied too heavily on Reese's popularity rather than focusing on fundamental team development. The author expresses doubt about the Sky's readiness, particularly their defensive capabilities against a player of Clark's caliber. The possibility of even a partially healthy Clark is presented as a major threat, predicting a devastating loss for the Sky in the season opener. The analogy of an arson investigation emphasizes the anticipated destruction of the Sky's game plan.
But the expectation and the pressure to play, you selling all of these tickets for preseason games and stuff like that. And people have to realize, fans going to these games, they must realize this is a real possibility every game. Caitlin Clark might not play.
The passage asserts that the excitement surrounding Caitlin Clark is based on her exceptional statistical performance, not just media hype. It highlights her scoring prowess, passing ability, and extraordinary long-range shooting as evidence of her talent. The author contrasts this with Angel Reese, suggesting Reese has focused more on her public image than on honing her basketball skills, specifically mentioning her defense. The author speculates that a dominant performance by Clark against Reese on national television might be the catalyst for Reese to improve her defensive game. It's suggested that either a moment of humility could be triggered, or it could simply result in another highlight reel of Clark easily beating Reese while Reese struggles defensively. The passage dismisses arguments from Reese's fans based on her college championship, framing it as a product of a college system and less challenging defenses. It emphasizes that the WNBA is a significantly tougher league, where past college achievements and social media popularity don't guarantee success. The WNBA is presented as a league for elite players, and Clark is portrayed as someone focused on leaving a lasting legacy rather than seeking popularity or social connection.
Anything, man, I would say don't panic. Everything is okay. It is questionable, right? It's questionable, but we'll see. Tomorrow's game status report versus Washington. Caitlin Clark, questionable.
The passage emphasizes the extraordinary level of public attention focused on Caitlin Clark, suggesting even the smallest updates about her generate massive online reactions. It draws a comedic contrast between this intense focus on Clark and a portrayal of Angel Reese as being more concerned with her public image, likening her preparation to a photo shoot rather than serious athletic training. This perceived difference in approach is framed as a source of entertainment amidst the anticipation for their matchup. The author is highly critical of the Chicago Sky's defense, using strong metaphors to describe its weakness and porous nature, implying it offers little resistance to opposing players. This defensive deficiency is highlighted as a significant factor that could impact the game's outcome. The passage predicts an overwhelming amount of media coverage leading up to the game, with every action and online post from both Clark and Reese being overanalyzed and dramatized. This intense media focus is seen as inevitable, with outlets capitalizing on the narrative surrounding the two players. The core argument concludes with a sharp distinction between Reese, characterized as primarily a brand or public figure, and Clark, defined as a formidable basketball threat. Clark is depicted as a genuinely challenging opponent with exceptional shooting ability, someone who poses a serious problem for opposing teams.
That would be so sad for her to miss going back there, and for all the fans that are planning on going as well. But her health is the main priority, so even if she doesn't end up being able to play Sunday, let's all be nice and thoughtful about it, even if you have tickets to the game.
The passage asserts that Caitlin Clark, if healthy, will not have a gradual start to the season. Instead, it emphasizes that she is ready for immediate and impactful performance, suggesting she aims to dominate from the outset. The author contrasts Clark's readiness with other rookies, implying they are still adjusting to the professional level, while Clark is already operating with a high degree of focus and preparation. Her dedication is highlighted, suggesting she has been intensely focused on this season for an extended period, long before the year even began.
I mean, it's an exhibition game. It's preseason. She's not going to do anything crazy anyways. They're not going to play her a ton of minutes anyways. I do think the most likely scenario, maybe she starts, doesn't play a ton, throws up a few logo threes, maybe plays some mediocre defense, but isn't going to go all out because she doesn't want to injure it further. But she has said before in interviews that she knows who she is and she knows that people show up for her and she doesn't want to disappoint the fans. So I do think, unless this is a catastrophic injury and they're just not telling us yet, that Caitlin Clark will be at least available to play a little bit. The official report...
The author acknowledges fan anxiety about Caitlin Clark's health, but quickly dismisses it, expressing confidence that she will be fine unless something extreme occurs. The passage warns the rest of the league to be prepared for Clark's return, suggesting her full strength will be a significant challenge. Specifically addressing Angel Reese and the Sky, the author predicts that Clark will not just participate this season, but will aim to dominate. The passage concludes by highlighting Clark's characteristic smile, suggesting she will enjoy her success while decisively defeating her opponents. If you're a Caitlin Clark fan, drop a CC in the comments below. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.